If you have an action camera, or you're thinking about getting one, then you've probably got something worthwhile to video. But are you getting the quality that you're looking for? Is there something better out there? And is it cost effective? In this video, we're going to compare the 5 latest GoPro action cameras. We're going to compare them in stationary, in moving video, and also compare audio. We're not here to tell you which camera you're supposed to get. We're here to give you all the information so that you can make the right decision. Whether you're an amateur or professional, we want to help you pick out the right camera for your application. We shot video with the 5 latest versions of GoPros under the same conditions so that we could make a fair comparison of each. Let's check out the cameras that we used. The oldest camera in the comparison is the GoPro Hero 3 Silver, 1080p at 60 frames per second and 11 megapixels. This camera has removable batteries that can be recharged. It does not have a touch screen display, and it is not protected itself for use in water, although you can use a waterproof case. The downside to that is the audio is not as good through that case. The next camera is the GoPro Hero 4 Black, a 4K camera, 30 frames per second with 12 megapixels. This camera also has a removable battery, so you can charge multiple batteries if battery life is an issue. It does not have a touchscreen display, and it is not protected for water use unless you use the watertight case. The GoPro Hero 5 Black is a more current full-size camera that runs at 4K, 30 frames per second, and 12 megapixels. This camera may not be the prettiest in the bunch, and as you can see, it's had quite a interesting life, but it does show how tough it is. This camera does have a touchscreen display. It also has a one-touch button for recording, which is extremely handy. It does have voice control, and it is watertight. This camera is still available for around $230. Next camera is the Session 5, which is a 4K 30 frames per second 10 megapixel camera. While the Session does not have a touchscreen display, it is still waterproof, and you can use voice commands to turn it on and off. And its small size and its one-touch operation makes it an extremely handy, very versatile camera to have around. At the time of this video, this camera sells for around $200. The most recent camera in our comparison is the Hero 6 Black, which came out at the very beginning of 2018, which runs at 4K 60 frames per second and 12 megapixels. Although the Hero 6 Black sells for around $400 at the time of this video, it comes with all the bells and whistles. It's waterproof, it has voice command, a touch screen, one-touch operation, Bluetooth connection. This camera's got it all. Let's take a look now at all the cameras operating on the same shot at the same time, and then we'll break down the characteristics of their operation separately. This shot includes 4 of the 5 cameras. We'll follow up with the Session after, but we've got the Hero 6 on the top left, Hero 5 top right, Hero 4 bottom left, and Hero 3 on the bottom right. Let's take a look at them individually. This is the Hero 3 Silver. Again, the oldest camera in the bunch, and it shows. As you can see, the edges are fuzzy. The motion looks fuzzy. The lighting does not look very well. This is the camera you want to use if the shot's not that important to you. There's a huge improvement when you step up to the Hero 4. It looks much cleaner. You can see harder edges on the branches and trees. There's definitely more detail in the shot, and it handles the light better. A much better camera than the Hero 3, and actually a serviceable image. The Hero 5 Black steps into the realm of professional video and is definitely something you can use for YouTube or for shots where quality really counts. You can see how much better the lighting is, how much better the motion is. Obviously, there's some better stabilization going on, and the shot is much more defined. The Hero 6 is obviously the best of the best. The 60 frames per second and the 12 megapixels really show out in this video. The stabilization is solid, the image doesn't move at all, and you can really see a difference with the lighting. Definitely the camera if you don't mind spending a $400. In my experience, I look at the Session 5 as the best all-around handy camera. Maybe not the best picture, but a very good picture. And it's so easy to use with the one-touch push-button start. And the image quality and the stabilization is still so good that I use it for all the all-around shots. If it doesn't have to be perfect, but it still needs to be really good. And at half the price of the Hero 6, it's a lot of bang for the buck. These shots where the car is stationary really show where money makes a difference when you're buying an action camera. If you look at the bottom right and bottom left and compare it to the top left with the Hero 6, just look at the definition in the grass, the trees, the gravel on the side of the road. It is a much better picture. However, the other three pictures are actually serviceable, and they degrade based on the age of the camera in this comparison. But the Hero 4 Black still produces a acceptable image. Next, let's listen to audio tracks from the 5 different cameras, and we'll let you decide which camera you think is the best. As you've probably gathered, the GoPro Hero 6 and the GoPro Hero 5 have the best audio, followed up by the Session 5 for a close third. The GoPro Hero 4 and the Hero 3 both suffer because they're in the cases. These are not waterproof cases, they're open back cases, but even then, the audio still doesn't meet the quality of the other 3 cameras. Better hurry up. So, which camera is best for you? Well, it comes down to cost, quality, and usability. We probably don't use all of the capability of all these cameras. For YouTube, it's more about convenience and usability. The GoPro Hero 6 Black is obviously the best camera in all categories, but it's also the most expensive. It's about $400. But if you're looking for capturing the best video in one take all the time, this would be the camera for you. The Hero 5 is a great substitute. It's about $170 less. Does about 90% of everything that the Hero 6 will do, and there's quite a significant cost savings. So it may be another option for you. The GoPro Session 5 at $200 is half the cost of the Hero 6. It still has very good quality video and audio. The one-touch use and the portability make it a great option. If you still have a Hero 4 laying around, I certainly wouldn't get rid of it. It is still a good camera, just not as good as the newer options. In our opinion, though, the Hero 3 Silver, probably time to put that camera to rest. If it's worth taking the time to shoot a video, you at least want an acceptable level of quality, and the Hero 3 Silver, while one of the best cameras during its inception, has aged out. As mentioned in the description, here's some helpful tips that we have accumulated based on our experience over the last couple of years with the GoPro cameras. We only use GoPro suction cups when mounting our GoPro cameras. The opportunity for a lesser mounting device to allow a camera to fall off and damage the camera, you lose the shot, and possibly cause property damage to what it's mounted on, or maybe a vehicle behind you. So that was our experience after trial and error. GoPro suction cups, they're the way to go. Tip number 2, get into the habit of cleaning the lenses on the camera and on the camera enclosures inside and out all the time. Nothing worse than finding out that you missed a great shot, a once-in-a-lifetime shot, because you had a smudge on your camera. Our third tip, Pelican cases. We use Pelican cases to store all of our mounts, to keep the suction cups clean and protect the mounts for the cameras themselves and all the camera accessories. It's a great way to put them all together in kits, so all you have to do is grab a Pelican case and go, but it certainly does a great job of protecting the lenses, the bodies, the mounts, the suction cups, and everything else that comes along with your GoPro cameras. The foam layers are very customizable to your particular usage also. One last tip on filming with action cameras, redundancy of shots. Use multiple cameras whenever possible. Gives you a lot of different angles to work with in editing to mix up the content, but what it also does is if you lose a shot because of a camera issue or whatnot, you have alternatives. I used 8 different cameras in this particular shot right here and lost the camera, still had 7 shots to choose from. We hope you got some good and useful information from this video. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments. Also, if you don't mind, give us a like, share, follow us, and as always, don't forget to subscribe. And check us out on Instagram and Facebook. Thanks for joining us at the Octane Garage. We'll see you soon.